What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, saints and inks, and welcome to Lactic Acid. I'm your host, Dominic Smith, and today there is a big event that draws in a lot of people, draws in a lot of money, draws in a lot of speculation, draws in a lot of anticipation, draws in some ballers, and you need to know who's behind it because, honest to God's truth, I didn't realize how important of a role she was until I went to TRA, and I'm talking about Julie Andrews and The Princess Diaries, the Queen of Genovia, because this guest is on the same level, and what she does to make our industry what it is, amazing. She is none other than the GOAT, the legend, Miss Christina Henderson. Christina, what's going on? Appreciate you coming on the show. How you doing?
That was the best introduction that I've ever heard, and I'm flattered and I'm blushing, so thank you. I'm very happy to be here.
It's the truth. Listen, as they told us in journalism school, the truth never expires all through and no filler. That's how we roll on this show. I kid you not. Like you were busier than an actual. I remember in college, I covered politics. I had to cover the mayor, and I was like, this dude doesn't even have a chance to drink a sip of water. And I can honestly say you were busier than a politician those couple days, and somebody important.
They they are very busy days, but they're my favorite days of the year because I get to see so many people that I love and that I've gotten to know and that I care about. So busy, but enjoying every second of it.
Well, we're going to continue that process and talk about it. We're going to get to that in a second, but you don't escape the first question because you do such amazing work. The world of running would not revolve around you. And there actually is some truth to that. Because there's not really there's no TRE UK. I mean, I'm sure there is, but we don't want to talk about that. We want to talk about this one here because everybody comes here for it. But to celebrate your awesomeness, a couple things are going to be done for you. So we're going to do like this New Year promotion. So the first thing, it is award season. Grammys are coming up in a few weeks. We just had the Golden Globes here, Emmys, all that crap, all that fun stuff, Tonys, all
Yep.
of that. So you get a chance to pick one of the awards either in music or in the arts and theater. Um, you get to pick which one you want to go to and anybody in this world who you want to go with. It could be your favorite actress, actor, musician. It does not matter. They're going to roll the red carpet out for you. They're going to interview you. They are going to give you the Lifetime Achievement Award at whichever one that you choose. So that's the first thing. The second thing, back in the day, there was a movie called Spy Kids. And there was a scene where they were in this cave. Y'all young kids don't know nothing about this. But they were in a cave, they were hungry, they popped something in the microwave, and all of a sudden McDonald's popped up. So that's what is going to be done for you. And we'll just cap it at these two things. So instead of McDonald's, you get to choose whatever meal from any one place, entity, whatever. It's going to be done for you. So that's the two things we need to kick off the year. I need the award and who's rolling with you, and then I need this meal that we're rolling with.
Okay, so I'm glad that I didn't know that you were going to ask me this because it really is. I'm like, okay, that you're getting my real and raw answers here, and this is amazing. So thank you.
hmm
So I do love awards season, and so this question is hitting for me, and I'm like going through, and I'm like, okay, where would I want to be? And oh, I think I would choose to go to the Oscars. That would
Okay.
be where I would go, the Oscars, movie stars. That's, who I kind of would want to hang out with or meet. Although I don't think we could go wrong. But we'll go Oscars and I think I would bring I have five nieces and nephews. I think I would bring one of them to come with me. I just think that their energy would be so fun to be with. Like, there's already going to be enough celebrities there. I don't need to roll with them. Let me bring one of my favorite people in the world, and everyone will want to talk to them because they're the cutest also. So we'll bring one of them, and then on the meal. The first thing that came to mind, so I'm going to go with this, is A New York City slice of pizza is what I would get to eat. I lived in New York for many years. I miss it. And just like that, like late night slice, I think that's what I would choose for my meal. How'd I
So
do?
I am thoroughly impressed to an elite level. So let's talk about food because food is life. I love food. I have not been to New York yet. Um,
Oh,
but I just sit here and write out all the places that I have to visit. And I have friends who live in New York, Brooklyn, all over. I have family in New York. What is it about that pizza that makes it so elite? Because I look at pictures and I cry. I'm like, we can't get crap here like this in Orlando. It makes me so emotional. I was in Texas. I was like, listen, where can I be like in New York? There was one deli that was close. Um, but what is it about New York? Because the food there seems, people say it's the water they use or something like that, and the
yeah.
dough, the
Well,
same
that's what
thing
I,
with the bagels.
it's like a boring answer, but I do think it's true, is it's the water. So the dough is very good. I'll give you a little story on that, but I think it's the water. I think it's like, you also have to throw in the vibes, right? You're on the side of the street in New York eating a slice of pizza. Yes, it's very good, but you're also just in New York on the side of the street, right? It's like it doesn't get much better than that. But there is a famous place, pizza place in New York, and they actually opened one in Dallas, where I'm from. And to back up the water story, I heard that they shipped water from New York to Dallas in order to make the pizza because they couldn't make the pizza with Dallas water. So there is something to the water that everybody says.
You know, it's funny. I have a bottle of water right here. Shout out to Zephyr Hills. My friend, my best friend, she lives in Utah and she's a pro marathon runner. She was down here for the marathon trials and she said, Dom, and shout out to Tori, it's your birthday today, even though this episode will be released
Oh,
after your birthday, but hope it was lit. She said, Dom, the water down here tastes like crap. I'm like, what? Like, and I'm thinking, okay, she must have had Aquafina or Dasani. We love y'all, sponsor, be a sponsor for TRE or something like that. But,
yeah, there we go.
um, yeah, there you go. But I'm like, it had to be one of those because during hurricane season, we have hurricanes, unfortunately, here in Florida. If you need water, you can't say you don't have any access to it because there's always Dasani left. Like everybody buys every other brand except that. It wasn't
Hmm.
until I went to Seattle and I was there it was really Oregon and then Seattle. And I was like, you know what? She's right. Like, what are y'all like? I don't know. There's just such a purity. I don't want to say a holiness, but I'm like, there's something so clean about this water. This I'm like, dang. So I kind of get it. Like I kind of get it. I just
Yeah, it's important.
you're from Dallas, so I would have expected a barbecue answer. Oh,
I know. I'm not a good Texan. Barbecue is not my favorite. Although I went to a great barbecue spot during the running event. So for anyone listening who will be at the running event next year, there's a great barbecue spot that I would recommend to everyone. So
where did you go?
we went to Pinkertons. Did
This
did
good.
yeah, have you
It,
heard of it?
okay, so I was all over TRE, and so I have to look this up. Um, I was all over TRE saying y'all gotta go to this barbecue spot, and it was the first night that I got in. I got in on Monday night and walked the river walk. And I'm looking at the barbecue places, and I'm like, no, I'm not paying $40 for brisket. No. And there was a guy who had a sombrero on and said, come eat this barbecue. And I looked at I'm like, okay, I'm going. You can't fool me. And I had this crazy barbecue experience. Listen, I was transported somewhere that I was never transported before. It was so good.
Really?
It was so good, and it cost $25 for sausage, brisket, chicken, and two sides.
That's not where we went. So I'd be
Okay.
curious of where you ended up because ours wasn't on the Riverwalk. It was a little bit more of a walk. So yeah, ours, the one I went to was Pinkerton's. Would recommend. Would love to hear yours as well.
I would love to hear it too, but I forgot the name of it. And
It's
so
well,
I have the receipt somewhere. So if you are in San Antonio for the running event, which is next December 1st through the 3rd, go on the Riverwalk. Make sure when you see somebody with a sombrero on saying go eat there, that's the place that you need to eat. And so hopefully by the time I have to do the intro for this episode, I find that receipt because brother man, it was good too. Shout out to you for recommending that. Um, I think the Oscars needs more children to go
right?
see it instead because it's just like it's so predictable. Like, oh my gosh,
Mhm.
I'm so overwhelmed. Bring some kids up there, but two for like two. It's good to have kids there because it just opens up their imagination.
For sure. I know. I think it would be so fun.
Is there a
Which
childhood?
which
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
which would you choose? Which awards ceremony would you choose?
I think the Grammys would piss me off, truthfully. Um, because I'm a big old school music fan, and the moment that I hear that you're off key with a jam that I grew up with or I listened to, it's going to be a problem.
Ah.
Um, I would say the Oscars.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're going to the Oscars together. There we go.
We're going to the Oscars. We're going to the Oscars. There's something about the Oscars. I don't know. It's so emotional. It's so stupid. I'm not even an emotional person. I'm like, why am I thinking about crying at somebody winning an award? But I don't know. It's kind of cool to see kind of different entities of the business, like like people who live, overseas and they do different movies, and people who are in the States. And I don't watch movies that much, so this kind of gives me like, oh, okay, maybe I should check this out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't get as emotionally invested, so I can't get mad that my movie didn't win. But what I was going to ask you before we jump to TRE, is there a movie or anything from your childhood that you think should have been nominated and should have won an Oscar?
Oh, wow. So one of my all-time favorite movies slash series did win an Oscar, so that I'll come back to that. But if ever asked my favorite movie in the world, it has for a long time been Remember the Titans.
Hmm.
And, I don't know. I think that just speaks to me. I love Denzel Washington. I love the story. I like cry every time I watch it. So I love Remember the Titans. So that didn't win anything. I don't know if it should or if it just speaks to me, but I'll throw that out there. But I also, you're going to see a theme. I loved the Rocky series growing up. So Rocky won Picture of the Year, the first one won that year. So I like sports movies. I like emotional sports movies. So they can win across the board in my opinion.
Remember the Titans was in my top three.
Is
Um,
it?
I
Okay.
I think it resonated for so many different reasons. I think growing up in the South playing football, it's that stupid. It is that like, and you know it just from growing up in Texas.
Oh, for
Um,
sure. Yeah.
it's like a religion, so I understood it from that point. I even understood kind of the racial divide of it too, and it was just such a wholesome
Yeah.
movie to watch them win. Like there were so many bars that Denzel threw out, and that I still use to this day to describe things that have no relevance to what they were doing or talking about in that movie. I don't know
I
if this
quote that
movie
movie a lot too.
is you have to, and I don't know this last movie. I don't know if it won an award, but these last two, I feel like Matilda should have won something. Like.
Wow, that's a great throwback too.
I, I feel so strongly that Matilda should have won everything. Like shout out to my homie Matilda.
I know,
Um,
that's so good. I love
I
that movie.
was, and then Good Burger. That was one that did not get the respect that it deserved. So that was my top three actually. Remember the times Matilda and Good Burger.
Oh, that's amazing. Wow, Matilda, you're really taking me back. I'm like, what was the Miss Grunchbold or what's her
Grinchwald,
name?
or yeah,
Gr
Grinchwald, or whatever the case might be. Somebody told me the other day she was like 5'4", and I was like, "What?" I was like, "You
As a
couldn't tell me
kid, yeah,
she was 6'2". Like,
totally. You're so scared of her, regardless.
oh my gosh! And they sometimes it's like you wish you. First, I felt so sad for her, and then I was like, I'm not doing enough with my life. Matilda was cooking food at 2 years old.
That's so true. Yeah, you do feel bad. You kind of feel bad for everyone in that movie, but Matilda most of all.
Yeah,
She found
so
her magic and Miss Honey.
yes, yes, yes. There were times where, it drove me crazy when she went back to Grinchwald's house. And I don't know. I have to go back and rewatch that movie. It brings me so much joy. I don't know. That's the dumbest thing. I should say something like Die Hard or some dumb
No,
stuff
no.
like that. Some sports movies. I've actually never seen Rocky before. But I will add it to the list because
I
I
will
love those
say,
movies.
so give me this. If you're going to watch Rocky, know that the first Rocky, I mean, it was made at the end of the 80s. It's slow, but keep going. The fourth Rocky is the best, in my opinion. And then the Creed series that is a spinoff competes. Like it might be better. I love Creed. The first Creed movie with Michael B. So yeah, I'll say that. If you give it a chance, don't let one deter you. Keep going.
So it's like Harry Potter, basically.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Yes, they get better. The fifth Rocky isn't great. I could talk about Rocky all day. So
I know.
let me
I
know if
know.
you end up watching.
I will. I'll shoot you a message. Be like, listen, I made it to four, but I take your word that it gets better. But you know what else gets better, Christina? The running event. The running event continues to excel. So I tried to memorize the stats, and I'm gonna screw it up. I got a press release on the first day. Shout out to whoever. I think it's Lauren, or yeah, Lauren. Whoever does the WhatsApp, you kept a brother in check those weeks, those few days, because the information was splendid. But it was so cool to see 100,000 square feet. I think 33 countries, not in the United States, were there.
Mhm.
All 50 states were there. And it was like if you've never been to Disney World, like during the holidays, it was one of those. It's so funny. Yesterday, I talked with somebody, and I don't know how we got to talking, and we were talking about TRE, and he said, I've never been, but he's a running nerd. And he's like, but I follow everything that comes from it, and I learn so much, and it helps him become a better runner. And I think that just
Hmm.
epitomizes what you have brought to life at TRE. Christina is the director of it. So she is the one that makes everything happen. She is the ultimate baller. She's the point guard. She sets everything up and makes sure it's executed. From your point of view, how was TRE? In your words, how was it?
Yeah, I mean, talk about getting emotional. Talking about the running event gets me emotional. So just be forewarned. But it was amazing. Like we kind of said when we started, it's my favorite week of the year. The team works so hard to put it together and then to see it come to life in San Antonio and getting to see people that you've only talked to on the phone or are just meeting for the first time. It's so valuable and so fulfilling. And we had over 5,000 people attend. I think it was about 5,300 people, and these are folks that are working in the running industry. So it's, people working at brands, store retail owners and managers and media, and then other industry professionals. But, we have all these different people coming, and they all have varied objectives and why they want to come, and what they want to get out of the event. And so it's very fulfilling to leave the event and get positive feedback from all these various categories that we were able to create value for each of these people within the running industry. So a lot of effort and intention goes into that. And so, yeah, very fulfilling, very happy. It went great. It was our first year in San Antonio. And so there was a question mark, right? This was my 11th TRE that I've worked on, and I could always picture it, right? I kind of knew what would happen and when it would happen. And this was different. I couldn't picture it in advance. We were in a new space in a new city, and so for it to come off so well was amazing. We just felt really good, and it only works because of the support of the industry. So, yeah, Dom, I know it was your first TRE, and this was my 11th, and I actually think it's more interesting to hear, how it was for you. How was it what you expected? If not, how was it different? What did you get out of attending?
Oh man. All right, I've been waiting my whole life for this answer. So it's funny, and I gotta give a shout out to my friends like Taylor Macetta and all those because they were saying like you gotta do it, you gotta do this, you gotta do this, and I gotta give a shout out to Magic Boost because they asked about it, and people who attended kind of went along with it. It was so interesting. I kind of got a glimpse of what it would be like. And I got to give a shout out to the diversified staff. My bosses were Michaela and Janae. I couldn't ask for two better people to work with and work for. They are, I got to give them their flowers. They do such an amazing job, not just with the media, but making sure everything is set. They're so kind, they're so passionate about it, and they set the expectation of what I would hope a boss would be. Um,
Mm.
but I left TRE, my friend Olu, he said it best, like, I'm gonna do a panel every year. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do a panel next year too. It opened my eyes up to the possibilities in my career. Like I fell in love with what TRE does. I fell in love with TRE. I had such a great time reporting it, doing the media work on it. I wanted to do more. I'm like, what other things do they have going on? Like, let me be a part of it. Please remember me for it. Because it was such like a family reunion kind of deal. It was such an amazing time interviewing people from different stores. Like I did one for the RIA, did a series on them ahead of TRE and talking, meeting Harry, Lindsay, meeting Kyle, and listening to their perspectives, listening to how TRE was for them, writing a story on San Antonio and seeing the excitement, listening to the excitement from everybody, and then going there. This is a long-winded answer, so I apologize.
No,
But
I love
I,
it. Keep going.
the first day I went there, I had the barbecue, did the hotel, and I was like, okay, I need to get a good night's sleep because I don't think I'm going to be sleeping at all, which was accurate. The second day I go, and the event hasn't started in terms of being on the show floor. So we're all upstairs and we're trying to, everybody has breakout sessions. And I see people who I've interviewed on the podcast, people who listen to the podcast, and I start talking to people trying out products, and then you start to see the community aspect of it because they're like, listen, this is good for this, this, and this. You hear about the major brands, but then you see a guy from Miami who, Date Fix, who has a small, business with nutrition, and you try it, and it's just like amazing. And so I don't know, it kind of made me go harder. It made me change things up because it's like I gotta find a way to help these people to reach their full potential. If I do, if it's just talking to them, if I get a video, if I could do something for down the road. I took a lot of meetings. A, to get content, B, just to learn. That's the one thing. I never got tired of learning. I never got tired of hearing people's stories. You know, you have people who have suffered some incredible loss, and they poured all of that into making something so beautiful, into sharing it with the world. And just to be a part of that was overwhelming in such a good way. It was great to see my friends in the media there and to hang out with them. San Antonio, you guys picked a great spot. I judge places on the food. I think I only had one bad meal, and that is an improvement from everything else. And the bad meal was my fault. So, it was something that is like I want this to be a part of my career, and truthfully, nothing has ever done that. Really, ever since I started covering track, and I think that's the power of TRE, and it's the power of when you do things the right way. There was no, sure, everybody has agenda because everybody, it's still a competitive thing. That's why it's a family reunion. People talk trash. People want to, people want to, promote their product, but I never felt uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never felt, I'm introverted, but it was easy to go talk to people. It was
Hmm.
so cool just to see everybody interact. The people that I met, we are even in the media, and I'll tell you this from a media standpoint, then I'll get back to you because you are the star of the show. But you have to be careful in the media who you swap stories with. You just have to. It's just because it's just so competitive. I've I haven't been too many places where media helped each other out. Part of it
Hmm.
was that there was a group of us, I know some of the good people at Flow Track and just Magic Boost, being a part of Magic Boost. So we all knew each other. But there were people that I met, we would have breakfast. We would be like, "Oh, did you talk to him?" Or "I made this contact." Or we shared story ideas. Or, "Okay, this is a good story for you to write. This is a good person for you to talk to. This is a good place for you to visit." So I've never been a part of that, and it was so genuine. And how when I wasn't in the room, people were saying, "Go talk to Lactic Acid," and when they weren't in the room, I was saying, "Go do this." So. Um, I just can't wait for what's next. And I said it was one of the highlights of my life. That sounds so crazy, but of my professional journey, and even just some ways, it was like, okay, this is what I want to do. This is kind of where I want to attack. And um, yeah, it was great. I hope that long answer answered your question.
No, I appreciate it truly. And I'm just sitting here like smiling and nodding because you're saying so many of the things that like it's our goal that this is your experience, right? And you're speaking from a media perspective and how, you all were swapping contacts and working together. And I think that's part of what's so special about at the running event is media do that, retailers get together and share best practices and, challenges that they're facing. Even brands do it, right? And so it's like this special place where community is being built and being driven and that's hard to come by these days, right? You can make a connection digitally, but there's something different about all being in a room together and saying like, hey, like you too, like do you face this also? How did you get through it? Or who did you talk to? And it's I was after TRE, I was reflecting on some of my favorite moments, right? Or just I always try to pause and just be because like to your point earlier, I have a million things going on. I'm running around, but I always try to stop and just be present. And I was walking through the trade show floor on the first day that it opened. And again, I was getting emotional because I was going from one end to the other, and the amount of hugs that I witnessed, it was just like every interaction, people were like greeting with a hug at every like intersection of an aisle. And that doesn't happen at a lot of trade shows, right? Like we have this really special community where these like genuine friendships and relationships are built. And I just feel very lucky to be a part of that and to be in a position where we can we can continue to drive the running industry in that way, right? I want to do anything we can to make the running event that way and also just the running industry as a whole, right?
Mhm.
You want to work in the running industry, you do, you see your career here. The running event is your place. We want to make sure that you are meeting who you want to meet to advance your career and I love that. Like what a cool opportunity we have with it.
I will
I
say this
also
too. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
no, I just wanted to say and thank you for shouting out Janae and Michaela. They're our rock star marketing team, and they work so hard, and but they make sure that each person that they interact with is comes into TRE and is able to accomplish their goals. So thank you for shouting them out. They deserve it.
Oh, for sure. And Andrew, shout out to you too. I actually met Andrew. I did not know where he was on the plane, but Andrew lives in Florida too. And we had a bonding moment in the airport because we didn't realize how cold it was. And so, because it was 82 when I left, and I think it was somewhere around that. And he had just a short sleeve shirt on, and I looked like, Frosty the Snowman and was still struggling. It's like I called my mom. I was like, I may have to go back home. I'm like, I am ready for this, but I'll say this too, and you can elaborate on it. This is an open conversation about the running event. It was really cool to see the community aspect at the after parties. Um, because at the on after party, there were people from it wasn't just on people there. I think the biggest one, Brooks was lit. Brooks reminded me that I'm 31 years old. I can't do the things I used to do. Um, and stuff. That mechanical glycerin max, I didn't even try. Shout out to the people who, did it. Shout out to everybody who was younger. I had already suffered an injury at the RIDC party. Yeah. You know, IT band, when you get
Oh
over
no.
30 and you want to start, dropping it low and doing dances, you need to stretch. Um, because I had one tequila sunrise and the stanky leg came on and the IT band, that Czech IT band like came right on. And I was like, ooh, okay. Yeah, can't do this, can't do this no more. But just but just to see everybody just like everybody's guard was down from
Oh
standpoint.
yeah.
Everybody's just having a good time, good food, and it's some of the main. I don't know, that's the beauty of it because it wasn't just like an outside group coming to do this. Nah, this was some of the heart, like the heart of the running event, the people who at the store I work at part-time, the running shoe store I work at, like we have goo, specific flavors, proceeds go to the RDC. Um, oh God, if I could be saying RDIC. Y'all know I love you. So
RIDC. Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So
You
still
got it.
love you,
You're
but
saying it
scratch
right.
that. Um,
Yeah.
but it's just the add to the community factor of it. Let me ask you this. Did it exceed your expectations this year? Because everybody talked about how great Austin was, but the unique thing about San Antonio, and I'll add this before you answer this, it it couldn't have happened at a better time because I think there was like a golf tournament happening, but nobody cared about that. Respectfully, hope you guys did well. But the running event was the main show. And then the day after, or 2 days after, was the inaugural weekend that they had their half marathon, their 5K, and everything. And talking to people in the community, they were saying how excited they were for TRE. And some people, and it was really cool that it was set up that there were some people who actually got a chance to go to TRE from various run clubs. And I have a good friend of mine who lives out in San Antonio. We went to dinner. I think it was that Wednesday night. My brother had a torta for the first time. It was Tuesday night. It was really, really good. And she was just explaining the running culture and how it blends into the running event and the excitement and how it did not disappoint, and how it met their expectations. So San Antonio was a baller place, but did it exceed your expectations?
So I think I visited San Antonio 2.5 years ago to check it out as a possible location for the running event. And I think I might have said this the last time we spoke, but I left that visit knowing that we would move the running event there. I knew it was the place that we needed to be. So I knew San Antonio was going to deliver, and I was certain of it. And so my expectations were already high. I think what did exceed expectation was the reception from the industry because people were fine with San Antonio, in advance. They were like, okay, I don't know, but I trust you, or we'll see, or how quickly can we get back to Austin? I was hearing that in the lead up. And not anymore. I mean, the feedback around San Antonio from the industry was so strong, and that exceeded my expectations because I wasn't sure because people did love Austin. And I was like, okay, are they going to love it? Are they going to love San Antonio as much as I do? Are they going to see it? Are they going to experience it? And they did. So that feels really good.
Is there a connection? We talked about the hugs, but is there a connection or moment that you took away from it that inspires you or gives you ideas of how we can even take this to the next level?
I have many of those little moments, but I think our industry awards dinner on Thursday night is always something that I take inspiration from. So, were you able to come to that? Did you come to that dinner?
No,
Okay.
because I had to go edit. I had to go edit stuff, so I
Okay.
was not able to attend
Yeah,
that.
no worries. So we honor the best running stores in America, and then brands give out awards, and then we crown the store of the year for 2025. And it's always such a good reminder of, why we do what we do with Running Event. Like you hear stories about these retailers and what they're doing in their communities and how they're giving back to their communities and how they're bringing in new runners and how they're changing people's lives. And so I draw so much inspiration from that, like especially on like tough days or something goes wrong, or it's like, okay, let's ground ourselves. Like, why are we doing this and who are we providing value for? And, to be able to say, okay, we're doing this because we are growing the sport of running, or we are, opening more doors for people to work in the running industry, to find running and incorporate it in their lives. I mean, that keeps me going every single day.
I want to ask this, then we're going to quickly pivot before we wrap this bad boy up with a bow. What, where does the passion come from? Where did this is a, if you went to TRE or if you saw pictures of it, you could see just how it takes a year to get this right. Like it is a huge undertaking. What keeps you going? What how do I want to ask this creatively? Where does that Rocky attitude come from? Where's the running good man?
I really love this question. I appreciate it. I don't think I've ever been asked it before. And I do think it, one, I want to acknowledge that our team is passionate, right? And so I am very passionate. Like I think you can see that from talking to me and just, from coming to the running event. But our team is very passionate about the event also. And so I just want to acknowledge that. And I think it comes from kind of what I was just saying of I always say this and I mean it, is we have an opportunity with the running event. We have a responsibility with the running event. I Running has shaped my life at just about every juncture in my life, right? It's like it led me to where I went to college. It has helped me build communities and friendships anywhere I've lived all over the country. I've built those through running. It's now led, to my career. And so I know and believe in the power of running. And I get so excited and passionate to serve these retailers and media and brands who are bringing in these new runners and opening running for runners all over the world, right? Like what a cool opportunity we have. And so I want to help. Like you mentioned Date Fix and this small and upcoming brand. I want to help those brands succeed, right? I want to help them do that. I want to help the larger brands create excitement around product launches. I want to help retailers run smarter businesses and come up with creative ideas to reach these new runners. I want to help media connect with brands and share their stories. So that's where the passion comes from. And I've been with the running event for 11, this was my 11th, and it's stronger than ever, which is, I don't know that that happens all that often. So I feel very lucky. This industry has shaped not only my career, but me as an individual.
Christina is like the coolest person ever. I saw the passion because you did 37 interviews in like 2 days. Um, but you genuinely were excited to meet everybody that you came across. So I think your passion makes everybody else go harder. Not out of fear, but out of love, love for the game. So, um, what this is what married to the game truly looks like for all you basketball and football players out there who said you are. No, you're not. You do not. You're not. Just you're not. You're not about that. I want to do something real quick before we wrap this up. And then if you have more questions, you feel free to ask me. I did not get a chance to ask you this at TRE. I actually asked Janae this, and she probably gave the best answer I've ever heard. So I went around and asked a fun question, and I'm going to ask you the same question, and I have two more to follow up with it.
Okay.
And I want to hear your response. So if that's cool with you.
Of course. Yeah.
So the question that I asked at TRE was, let's pretend like this is next year. This is December 1st, and we're gearing up for Christmas. Actually, I still got all my Christmas trees up. Um, Partly I just don't feel like taking them down, and it's cold here, so I still want to tis the season.
There you go.
So the question that I asked that I want you to answer, or at least the first one, if you had to compare a Christmas movie with TRE to TRE, what would it be?
This is like the best question. So I have one that came to mind immediately, and I'm just like cycling through. I'm a big Christmas movie person. So this is going to be so cheesy, and I'm sorry, but the what came to mind is It's a Wonderful Life, because I always leave the running event saying that to myself, or some version of like, how lucky am I? Wow, that was really hard, like leading in, and wow, it was all worth it. This is like, how lucky am I? So I'm gonna say It's a Wonderful Life.
Two things quickly before I ask the next two questions. I don't know. I think one person, I don't know if anybody said it was a wonderful life out there. And I talked to a lot of people. Got a lot of Elf, got a lot of Christmas Story, got a lot of somebody could have said it, but let's just say for sake of my not remembering, you're the first person. So shout out. The second thing, I've actually never seen that movie. So I have to take your
Mm,
word. Actually, I heard that movie is sad. So
it
I'm just
is.
gonna pretend like we're gonna pretend like it's the positive version. Well, I guess it does end positive because the
It
storyline
ends
I was told.
positively.
Okay,
Yeah.
so because the storyline was like he didn't want to be here, and I'm like, ooh, but we want to be at the running event. So we're just gonna pretend
But
he
he
just didn't know about TRB.
realizes,
Okay.
and that's where I think in the lead up to the event, it can be so stressful. It can be, and it's like you get there and it's like this is why we do this, right? It's yeah. So it's not perfect, but even if you just take the title,
No, you
it's
flipped
wonderful.
that. Oh, you flipped that better than most pastors can on Sunday. That was actually impressive. Okay. It's okay. I like that. That's a skill set. You have to add that on LinkedIn. That's actually impressive. Usually I pride myself on doing that, but that was actually really good. I may have to steal that. Okay. The last two. If you had to pick a running shoe that describes your personality, what would it be? I'll give you two. You can pick two.
Okay. I I will say, and gosh, this might be cheating. That's why I'm just like going because I have the what came to mind first, but I am gonna go with the Brooks Glycerin. It is the shoe that I run in, so that fits. But why it comes to mind for my personality is it's very reliable, and I think I would describe myself as that. And a friend to all, if someone who hasn't been had their gate checked or anything, I feel pretty confident in saying, like, check out the glycerin. It will probably work for you. So, friend to all, welcoming, reliable. Plus, Brooks has some fun colors lately. You've got the glycerin max, you've got all these fun, funky colors, and I can be fun and funky when called for.
Brooks is the only shoe that has like a Christmas and a Thanksgiving colorway. Um, and they go deep in Crayola's box for some of those.
Well, I don't know if you've seen it. I don't think they do it anymore. They used to do like Fourth of July shoes
Mhm.
and like St. Patrick's Day shoes. Like they went wild with those. I don't know that they do that anymore, but yeah.
Um, and that's a great answer. And I don't think that you said this because the new glycerin is actually about to come out. So that's a great uh that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And everybody has a pair of glycerins. Like everybody has a pair of glycerins. Whether you
Yeah.
I want to hate the glycerin, but a brother got to take the trash out, so I slide them things on, and I go do what I have to do, and my feet don't hurt. So everybody has a glycerin. Okay, the
What's your
last.
answer to that? What's your answer to that?
Oh, this is a dangerous answer. Um, Dang. You see, part of the problem, I am introverted, and I was trying to think of a boring shoe, and I can't, I can't really think of one. And actually, I did think of one, but I can't say it because the brand is really the brand is really cool. So let me just make up something. I'm just gonna say my favorite shoe right now. My
Okay,
favorite
let's
shoe is the Vomero 18.
oh, I like the Vomero also. Yeah.
I don't know. I guess because I'm nice, and that shoe is nice when it comes to the cushion that it offers. I think there's a talent equated mechanism in there because it makes you feel faster than you already would, well, than you are. Um, so I'm just gonna say the Vomero. I'm just gonna say the
Okay, I
Vomero.
like it.
Um, on my days when I want to be a villain, I'll just say the Vomero Plus. Um, and everything. And whenever I make it big, when we go to the Oscars, we'll crank out the Vomero Premium.
Amazing. There we go. I like it.
Last one, and then I'll ask my last question, and then if you had anything. Last one. Last one, best one. If you had to use a recovery product or nutrition product to describe who you are as a runner, what are you going to roll with? Let's stick with nutrition because recovery is kind of weird. Let's stick with nutrition.
This is a great question. I've got to think for a second.
I didn't mean to stump you.
Have you ever had Cherubundi?
Yeah, oh, I drink that cherry juice all the time.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with Cherubundi. It's sweet and tangy and like a little bit different than you might expect. Uh, but it works. And yeah, I'll go with that for the sweet and tangy for my personality.
I like that. I like that. And it's good for you.
Yeah, it's great for you. I have some. This doesn't go with my personality, but you ever had the sleep ones? The
Come on
sleep.
now. Listen,
Yeah,
that
those will put you right to sleep.
that will knock out a horse. That's anesthesia right there. Oh man, there. Oh man. Oh, that's a
But it's
great.
good. I do. I like it. So yeah, that's I'll go with that.
That's a great
What's your
answer.
answer to that one?
I was so hoping you didn't ask me that. Um,
You can't ask me and not expect me to not ask you.
it's my show, but listen, yeah, you're right. So goodness gracious, there's so many. I'm still getting used to nutrition's a little tricky in Florida, and I don't want to piss off any brands. Um,
Yeah.
so I'm going to go outside the box. The problem was I was going to say Cherubundi. Um,
We
so I'm
can both
trying to
be Cherubundis.
no, but can I give you one and a half?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to give a shout out to, okay, I would do two. The ones that describe me, and just for, just to be honest, none of these describe me because I can't even describe how it describes me. The first one would be chocolate milk from Publix. It's Publix chocolate milk.
Oh, that's a good answer.
I've been messing with that since I was in high school playing football on the weightlifting team. If you don't know, a good glass of chocolate milk is great for recovery.
Yep.
It is great for recovery, and it hits different after you run a race. The second thing, and shout out to my coach Tori, it is I want to give a shout out to the New York Deli and the Millennia Cafe. Just follow me here. I hit that bacon, egg, and cheese on a croissant from the New York Deli after a long run, and that I really probably shouldn't be eating this, but I will eat some pancakes and some bacon and some eggs after, like, because typically after a run, you want to have protein.
Yeah,
Um,
you should have that after a long run.
and it has stopped me from cramping and stuff.
That's
So,
amazing. You really took it outside and now I'm like, man, bacon, egg, and cheese, that's a great answer.
and it's from the New York Deli. It's like, I mean, we talk about pizza, bacon, egg, and cheese. Like, I don't know.
Is this a food podcast?
It kind of is. So on this show, we did like chicken wing episodes and stuff like that. I learned how to do charcuterie on this show from Dina Castor because she taught me how to make a rose out of salami and cheese, which is crazy. Dina, we're not doing that again. But listen, it is a food. Listen, we've been talking about food. It's a food and Rocky episode. So sad we have to end it. But last two things, and I just thought about this one, and I want you to talk about it because I want this, and I have to give a shout out to you because you told me this before TRE, and I saw it. I would go by there every day, and it was lit. You were so excited about the education factor at TRE, and I
hmm
think you guys
hmm
nailed it this
hmm
year. Um, but talk about Switchback, just in
Yeah.
general,
Yeah.
and then what's going down in New Orleans in June.
Yeah, thank you. So, as a reminder to anyone listening, we launched Switchback this pa last June. It was our inaugural event. It's for the outdoor industry. So if you're familiar with the running event and what we do for the running industry, we are doing that for the outdoor industry through Switchback. So it's a dedicated event for outdoor stores and outdoor brands, media in the outdoor space. So again, It has a different formula. It feels different than the running event, but that kind of helps people understand it. And we launched it last year in Nashville. It went really well. It's smaller than the running event at this point, but it is growing pretty quickly. So we'll be in New Orleans, like you mentioned, June 16th through 18th. And would encourage anyone in the outdoor industry to attend and reach out with any questions. We we have about 150 brands currently signed up, and the and registration for retailers and media opens next Tuesday, the 21st. So we're working on building that education that you mentioned. We're working on the on-site special events, and we're really excited to see for how it's coming together.
Did you have any questions for me before we close this wonderful time?
I'll ask you one question. It's something I've been thinking about, and I'm curious of your perspective.
Okay.
If if you think about the running industry 3 years from now, describe it to me. What in your ideal world and just in working and running and seeing what we're doing with the running event, what does the running industry look like in 3 years?
Cheese and crackers. That is like a Steph Curry range three that you of a question that you asked, and that's a really
I know
good
it's a
question.
big question. Yeah, but I think it'll be
I
a
th-
great way to wrap up.
I think hmm, I can't. So the shoe aspect changes every year. Because as you know, it's there's a lot of competition. Right now, a lot of shoes have a lot of stack height, and so everybody's kind of getting a feel for the pulse. So I think that'll continue. I feel so strongly that there will be more hats in the table when it comes 3 years from now. Think, you know, we're trying to, there's more in the media space. I could just speak for it. I feel like in my group with the Magic Boost and people, who are like-minded, and there's more of a creative element when it comes to ideas that I
Hmm.
feel like can be brought to the table. And it's just, you know, finding people who are willing to listen and to invest. I feel like this is what I feel strongly about. I feel like smaller brands will start to make a huge difference. And the reason, and not just smaller brands, but I feel like the switchback, the education point, is more helpful than you think. And I'm gonna tell you why real quick. Working part-time at the running shoe store, you don't see runners. And the misconception is that, and we talked about this when I was doing the interviews with RIA on the podcast. People think like, oh, I'm not a runner, I just walk, or oh, my back hurts. And it's just like, no, 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 no. Like these shoes are not just made for running. There's a community element, and so I feel like the education aspect, telling people, no, everybody can kind of be a part of this, or even you don't have to be, if you're running just intervals, you don't need a super shoe. No, get the Brooks Glycerin. Or if you
Hmm.
have plantar fasciitis, you got Super Feet, you have Power Step, you have Hoka, Brooks, so many of these other brands. And so I feel like the education part, I do feel like that mixed with the media and the way it's trending, I do think it's going to play a big benefit going forward in the next couple years because, and I guess this is the we call it in journalism the nut graph. This is the main point of the answer. The accessibility is about to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I just told you this guy who I was talking to yesterday, he loves running and stuff like that, but he has no ties to TRE. But he feels what's being done in TRE all the way in Orlando and is helping him with his growth. And so I think
Hmm.
the accessibility will continue to grow, the education will continue to grow. And because the education is growing, and now you have fresh faces in the media, hopefully that gets the word out, and hopefully that kind of makes a positive impact to take everything to another level going forward. And I do think more running shoe stores will open,
Oh,
especially
I like
local.
that.
I really do. Like I have friends who talk about, yeah, I'm thinking about opening up a running shoe store and this is my target audience. This is my market. This is who we could help and stuff. So I do think you'll see an increase and I think there may be some creative elements to it as well.
I love it.
So
Well, yeah, thank you so much.
yes. And so for those who are like, why TRE? This is the final word. Why TRE, Christina? Why TRE?
The running event is where the culture and business of running is created and built. So if you want to be a part of that, TRE is where you need to be.
If you want to know more about the running event, please follow them on Instagram, follow them on their website. They have a Facebook page. Nobody keeps up with their Facebook page, but the running event thankfully does. So you can find some incredible things on there. Just type in the running event. If you are an outdoor retailer or in the media or whatever the case might be, and you want some gumbo, some jambalaya, some crawfish etouffee, but also to learn about the greatness of what's going on in the outdoor world ahead of the winter season, you need to be there in New Orleans
Exactly.
this summer. It goes down. Christina, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come on the show. Hope y'all enjoyed the episode. Love, peace, and chicken grease, and we'll catch you next time.